we were having webinars on a more regular basis, and I think it was engaging really well with a lot of the agents, more so in a recorded scenario. So we would run them, because obviously it's different time zones for everyone. So we would run the webinars, record them, and then most people would watch them. But we didn't get that level of interaction that I really want, because, you know, when we're interacting, you can ask questions as we go, and hopefully you can give me some feedback on things that you're working on, and we can address real issues. And that's the benefit of actually being live on these webinars. I'm going to try and run a couple of them as often as we can, so that there's two different times, and that might help, because we've got agents now in the US. So in the US right now, in Mountain Time, it's about 7 o'clock in the morning. In Australia here, it's 11 p.m. I think it's about 1 p.m. in London. So, and it's about 9 p.m. in Penang, where Hamza is. So yeah, that's the idea, is to get more interaction. I know everyone is watching the webinars, but in recorded version, which is great to review. So anyway, what I wanted to do is really go through a few points with you, and give you a little bit of an update of what's going on with the website and what we're doing. But also I wanted to discuss a few training points, such as analytics, building better relationships with event organizers and working quite closely with them, and also with hotels. And I'll explain that and give you a couple of scenarios. I'll go over the new changes to the website, and also where there's been some discussion about APR, or advanced purchase rates. So we'll go through a little bit of that with you too. And I want to talk to you a little bit about buying cycles. So we've got a lot to fit in, really, in 45 minutes or less, 40 minutes now. And also, on a fun note, I'm going to show you some things about IATA, and I'll give you a bit of a snippet, because as a booking agent, and because we're IATA registered, you actually have access to a new website just for agents. So this is to actually book your own travel. So I'm not going to spoil you too much now. I'll come back to that at the end. But this is essentially where you can book discounted trips for yourself. So, which is always nice. Okay, let's get stuck in. So analytics are really vital, in my opinion. And they're vital because it really gives you a measure of where you're at, on a scale of connecting a private booking area to an event. It gives you direct feedback, which is really important, on the clicks, so you know if your marketing is working or if it's not working. If they're going to a specific hotel and they're just backing off the page. So they're, in other words, they're not finding what they want on that particular page. That goes into your bounce rate. So it takes a little bit of kind of getting used to, but it's a really, really important way of analyzing how you're going. And if you do it as soon as you can when you connect the event up, it's going to give you the ability to change your tactic slightly or add new hotels on at the start of the event, rather than waiting till the end of the event to review what just happened, because then it's too late. Yes, you'll learn things for future events, but you're not going to be able to change anything, obviously, for the event that you're working on at the moment. So the way you can work with analytics is pretty straightforward. You've all got a Gmail account with hotels.tv. And through the Gmail account, you can then go on to google.com/analytics, and you end up on a page that looks similar to this that we're looking at the moment. And on this page, this is, to give you an idea, this is for an event that Anwar is working on called the Muslim Convention. It's generated about 40 bookings for him so far. And this just shows some of the stats. So you can then come in to your analytics and view how many connections you've had. So he's had 135 people link through, and you can even find out where they've come from. If you look at the source, you can see that 114 have come directly from the muslimcon.org, and I'll put that into the browser up here so you can actually see what that leads, where that is, what that is, and how the event is linked. So as you see, this is the Muslim Convention's website where people are registering. They've got a book hotel link at the top. And when you click that, this year we've partnered with hotels.tv. Click here if you'd like to book a hotel. Book. And then, of course, you go through to the PBA. Okay. Now, we've got some very good rates, actually. You know, the Townhouse Manchester, if you go on to booking.com, well, I'll actually do I'm on booking.com anyway. I'll do a very quick example for you. I know I'm drifting off the point a little bit, but I'll get it back. Okay, so 15th of November to the 16th. Well, not that one. We want Manchester. Townhouse Hotel, Manchester. Let's see what rates they've got at the moment. It's not even on because it's sold out now. So they've actually removed it from booking.com. It was showing rates at least £175 a night, and we've been selling it for a while at £100 a night. Like I say, we've done about 35 bookings into that hotel. We've got another 5 to go. I don't think we can get 5 rooms, but we've still got some rooms available. And we've negotiated the rates for that, or Anwar's negotiated the rates for that, and it's working out really well. So to let us know that it's working out really well, it's really important to use your analytics. And you can see by looking at your analytics when perhaps, you know, the spike is when it was promoted by the event organizer. So you can see if they did some more promotion, we might have some other spikes here, but it's actually come down over the last few days. So what that has told me to tell Anwar, okay, is that we need him to go back now, because there's still 10 days to go before the event, to promote it again, to give it a push. Okay, so there's lots and lots of different metrics and lots of different triggers that this can do for you as well. We've had 13 people come through the website, and this is part of the new changes to the website that I'll show you. They've come directly through and gone on to that. And you can also see here, this is a really important figure, the bounce rate. That means 66% of people stayed on the page. Only 33% bounced away. That's very good. The average website is 60% bounce rate plus, which means only 30 or 40% maximum tend to stay on most websites. But because this is so focused on the event, 66% have stayed on the website. So that's great. That means the information, the hotels are right. It means it's doing its job. And that can be monitored by doing your analytics. Now, one more thing is to actually use a code and get access to analytics. I won't go into it too far at the moment, but when you can set this up very easily by going into the analytics setup page, you type in the website that you want it to track. So that would be hotels.tv/ the Muslim conference. And it starts to track that, but it gives you a code called a UA code. And when you get that code, you go back here to your destination page. A little bit slow loading, but we're getting there. Not too bad. Okay. Muslim conference or convention. If we go into the Muslim convention and we go and edit the destination, there is a box on this page, and I know you're all familiar with this page, called Google Analytics account. And there's a UA number. So you just simply paste the UA number in there, whatever it is, and you click save. And that will monitor your PBA. Now you can use that UA code, okay, because it's actually your tracking code for your setup. It's not per event. It's actually, it can be just for you, and you can use the same code across multiple events, and it will separate the pages on a screen like this, okay, for all your events. Otherwise, you can keep it completely separate. So if you have a look at my screen here, I've got them for every single website that we have. Hotels.tv has one. A separate UA code goes for Res Agent or Resis and Res Agents and HTV marketing and our YouTube channel. So that's all separated. But we can actually allocate a code for each one. As you see, we did the India property show in 2018. That has a separate one. And that helps you manage it. So you can then just go to Google Analytics anytime you want, and you can look at your pages. You don't have to wait for me to give you a report. If you want me to give you a report, I can send one, but it's really, really good if you can get that set up on your events, and we've provided the box for you to do it, and that you can make a habit of monitoring these. Really, really important, because it does tell you a lot and will ultimately make you more bookings and make sure that the customers are finding what they want. And you'll be able to tell those from all these metrics. So hopefully that is reasonably clear on the analytics side. We can do some one-to-one training on that as well. But I want you to start thinking about things in terms of analytics, because there's no point going to all the effort and doing all the marketing if you're going to not monitor how effective that is. Okay, better relationships. I want to use an example of how we do this. Relationships are the key, really, to what we do. And we can go to an event organizer and we can just go, you know, hey, we want to work with your event. And we go to the hotels and we go, hey, hotels, we've got an event, we want to work with you. Invariably, I think what a lot of you have found by doing this, if you have a very shallow relationship, either the event says no, for whatever reason, or the event says yeah, but they're not really committed to marketing and helping you and growing and sending lots of email campaigns. They're not committed to your success. They're not really interested. They just get on with their own event and they carry on and do all their thing. So by building a stronger relationship and maybe spending a bit more time understanding the event and creating that relationship, you will build a much stronger bond with the event organizer. And so this is why don't waste your time on maybe events that are too small to do this, because you'll end up spending a lot of time on events that don't produce too much. So the objective I should say here, is to pick the events that you really want to work with. Hamza, you came to me today with one. So to use that as an example, is that Hamza in Penang made some calls and found an event that has got 6 or 7 events or 8 events around the world, effectively, certainly around Asia. So Hamza's the agent in Penang in Malaysia. For those that you don't know, Hamza's been with us a while. He's been in and out doing different things. So he's got this event organizer now. And the event, it's now worth spending time, because this event organizer hasn't had a booking partner, doesn't have a booking partner, hasn't been approached by a booking partner before, yet understands that they need. And I'll come to this more, understanding the buying cycle, so you can start to get into the psyche of the whole thing. But it's a great opportunity. This type of client is worth spending time on, because if you can build a relationship with them and they understand that you care about their event and you're trying to help them make a much better event, they're more empathetic towards helping you succeed and making sure that, you know, you have all the publicity and the promotion that you can possibly get. I'm working on an event at the moment in South Africa, one of the changes you'll see on the website, if you haven't noticed already, is that we can now feature the events on the homepage. And so we'll add more and more events to it. But I'll go through the changes because the booking system does look a little bit different. You do have a choice now as to 2 different styles. But this is Africa Trade Week that we're working with. And last year was a very average event. We got to it very late and we didn't do that many bookings. It was a little bit disappointing. This year, the event organizer is very motivated to make money. And that's great, because that gives you a lot of ammunition. It gives you a lot of things to work with. And so what I've done is make sure they understand that in order for them to make money, they have to make sure that we are positioned in every available location on their website, that we're attached to all the emails that go out, that we are on, when someone registers to become an exhibitor and put a stand up at their trade show, that an email about Hotels TV and about their hotel options goes out to those people at the time they're registering or have registered to put a stand up, so they become an exhibitor. That's when they should be presented with the hotel option. So these sorts of things you can do by really getting close to the event organizer and making sure that they really understand that this is a partnership, that they want to make money, you want to make money, you want to look after guests and make sure they get the best deals and they have a good reputation and a good relationship. The event organizer wants to make sure that the people are happy as well and they're getting accommodated, and as many of them are booking through the platform as possible. So it becomes more of a joint venture. And that's the way I approached it with them, because they're a very large group. They have 80 events around the world. They have 6 events in Johannesburg in June. They have over 500 exhibitors, and they have 10,000 participants of this event. So there's 6 trade shows. If you have a look here, they have 2 dates. they've got the Africa construction, totally concrete, pumps, valves, and pipes. And they've got the Hotel Show Africa, Africa Big 7, and Satex. All right. So I've condensed it all into one booking system. I haven't given them 6 different PBAs. I've actually done it all on one that looks, if you recognize it, it looks more like a destination website. It doesn't look like the normal PBA. So if you click through, this is more like the normal PBA. And you can simply get one of these set up by, rather than clicking corporate extranet when you're setting up the destination, if you just connect with the city or the country, if you, like I selected, I'll show you where I mean. So here's the Muslim convention. In this category, we would have normally put corporate extranet right there, and that would look like a normal corporate extranet that we're all used to. But to make this kind of more website destination type feel, where you can feature selected hotels and have a list of other hotels as well, so you can actually highlight more hotels, what you do is you simply connect to the country that you want, that you're in, that you're holding the event in, and it changes things a little, and it changes the look, and it means you can put a nice big image in as well in the background. That's 1600 pixels by 600 pixels as well. Because the Muslim convention didn't have a 1600 by 600 logo, I've actually made a black background 1600 by 600, and I've put the smaller logo on there. Sorry, I know I'm jumping around a few things, but hopefully you're following, in order for it to look like that. So that's actually the image there, but actually it's a 1600 by 600 image to put it there. Okay, so I digress again, but the point is that, you know, you can make these nice looking pages by selecting that rather than corporate extranet. With DMG events, I've created a relationship that's more of a partnership because I want them involved. The more involved I get them, the more bookings we're going to do. I have given 50% of the commission to these people because they want to make money. And I've done that on the condition that I've told them exactly on their website where I want to be featured and how many email campaigns I want sent out on a regular basis, and that I want to be shared and connected to the exhibitors when they book a stand. And I want it active, 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 because I need to lead the charge. You know, I need to be the one to show them how to do bookings. It's not their job to guide me as to how they're willing to do bookings. They don't know how to do bookings. They know how to do events. I know how to do bookings. So I've said to them, if you want this to be successful and you want to make money, this is what you need to do, and this is what I need. And furthermore, I want a 3-year agreement on all your events. And they've also got events in Ghana, I think, and events in Cape Town and events in Durban. And I said, I want them, and I want them for 3 years. And we will do this very successfully, because every year you learn from the year before. So you do one event, you learn, you go into the next event, you learn, you know, and your clients, you're building your brand at the same time. So by year 2 and year 3, your audience is used to seeing the brand. And that's really important as well, because they start to trust it more and more and more. And we'll do more on trust. Well, you know, you've got to understand that. And what I said to DMG events as well was, DMG, your attendees trust you. They don't have to trust Hotels TV, although it's nice if they do because they're booking. But, you know, they should be trusting your judgment. DMG are the ones that are saying, We've picked these hotels. We've selected these hotels. We've seen these hotels. Hotels TV is a booking platform to facilitate the booking and to answer your inquiries and to that. But DMG have taken responsibility for the reputation. And that is the way they're going to make money out of bookings. And that will make us money as a result. So I hope you see the difference between just approaching an event and actually partnering with an event. I think it's really, really important. And that's the same with the hotels. So I had a conversation with the hotels because the first time, and we all know what it's like, they all try and give you higher rates than booking.com the first time you go to them, maybe the second time. And they'll try and justify, oh, I can't give you cheaper rates, until you actually explain what you're doing. Once you've explained exactly why we have a private booking system and you explained our relationship with the event, all of a sudden they approach it differently. And I always use that gauge. If the hotel gives us the same rate as booking.com's rate, which they've allocated on booking.com, they're making no investment into your project to be one of a very select few partners. Okay. When a hotel invests, they drop the price under booking.com. This is their investment in partnering with the event. Okay. Because you can then see physically how much they are contributing to be part of being promoted to the DMG audience, which has 50,000 people on an email database, 20,000 people on a Facebook feed. The hotels are going to be promoted directly to the exhibitors. This is all very valuable stuff, that ammunition you've got to sell to the hotels to make sure they give you the best rates. So partnering with the hotels, and I had a long hour conversation with the Hilton Sandton in South Africa. And at the end of it, they couldn't wait to work with us. They gave us rates that were $70 a night cheaper than their rates on booking.com. And they're doing added value, vouchers in the restaurants, discounts in the bars, because they value the audience that we're putting them in front of now, because they realize that there's no other way that they can be part of that audience. So the value in building a relationship with the event, spend the time on nurturing that. The value with building the relationship with the hotels is as important. And because you're just bringing everyone together with your technology, and you will eat as a result of that because you're in the middle of the pie. But it's really, really worth nurturing. But be selective of the events that you're going to work with on that basis, on that very selective basis. Okay. On that basis, the new changes to the rates, or it's not it's a change, it's an addition. So we still do the rates, the same best available rates. They go online. People pay when they get to the hotel. We invoice after the guests have checked out. But what we've done now is introduce the advanced purchase rate, APR. Now, we still have the best available rates, but as I hope you understand the term flash sales. So a flash sale is something that's on for 7 days or 14 days or 30 days. It just comes and goes. We can now negotiate a net rate that's an advanced purchase rate as a flash sale, because they're normally a lot cheaper than the best available rates. But they're non-refundable, non-cancelable, and they're only available for the next 7 days or the next 14 days. So what you would do is you would negotiate them with the hotels just the same way that you negotiate your rates. But you would say, I want those rates, but also I'd like to do a flash sale at the start, a flash sale in the middle, and a flash sale at the end. For the start, I need a really killer rate. And either the hotel can take the money up front, but that's not the idea. The idea is that we take the money up front. So we have a net rate and we add 10 or 15% onto that net rate. So it means the hotel gives us a rate without commission, okay? And we take the money up front, and to the guest, it's non-refundable and non-cancelable. The guest comes along and books, and they understand that it's non-refundable and it's paid in advance. That's why it's called an APR, or advanced purchase rate. The guest pays and they get their confirmation. We collect the money and we charge the credit card. We pay the hotel immediately, and we're left with the 10 to 15% commission. We pay you usually in around 7 to 10 days. So even if the event is in June next year, offering the advanced purchase rates means you can start getting paid right now, offering these flash sales. Okay, so as well as best available rates, it brings forward your payday so you can start earning now for the next 8 months until June. All right, so I hope you understand the opportunity there and you understand how it works. And we can talk one-to-one in our sessions about that. But the idea is not only do we give the client a better option, because if they're happy with a non-refundable rate, quite often these people have insurance, travel insurance, and if they had to cancel and it's non-refundable, their insurance tends to cover those non-cancelable rates anyway if it's an emergency reason that they've had to cancel. So they're normally protected anyway. But what it means is that we've got the payment up front and you can get paid up front as well. That gives you the more leeway between now and the event, the better, because now you've got 6 or 8 months to make money even before you invoice or we invoice for your best available rates that are paid at the hotel. So hopefully that's pretty clear. The other changes that we've made some changes to the website. As I said, we've started to focus on the events. If you'd like your event featured, we can only do this if it's under that new destination feature, not if it's a corporate extranet under the traditional PBA. It just doesn't work in the settings of the system, that's all. But if you want your event features on a homepage, then we can certainly do that. Okay. Very quickly, buying cycles. When you're prospecting for your event organizers and you're looking for them, I want you to understand that there's various stages. And this has been researched by someone called Eugene Schwartz, who it was done a long time ago, but it's really relevant, and it's the basis for marketing and advertising across the world. This is kind of the foundation. There are basically 5 stages of the buying cycle. And if you think about your event organizer in this capacity, your event organizer is buying the product, even though there's no charge. They're agreeing to it. The first stage is unaware. They are unaware that they have a problem. Okay, and we've also come across these people when we're prospecting and calling people. People like, we're trying to solve a problem, but if they don't know they've got a problem, we've actually got to explain perhaps what the problem might be. And the problem is they're not offering hotel bookings to their guests. Their guests are having to go elsewhere. They're getting bad hotels. They're paying too much. They're not located in the right areas. They're not being recognized when they get to the hotel, and they're all over the place. And by providing the PBA, we're able to funnel that into selected hotels that are right for this event with good rates. We all know the reason we do what we do, hopefully. The second stage is that they're problem aware, so they know what their pain is. These event organizers know they need a booking solution, okay? But they don't know what the solution is. They don't know that you're offering a solution, but they know that they need something. That's number 2. The third stage of the buying cycle is that they're solution aware, okay? So they know there are solutions out there, but they haven't chosen one yet, and they don't know your option, okay? So that's solution aware. So we've got unaware, problem aware, solution aware, which is the third one. The fourth one is product aware. Okay, so that they're aware of your product now, but they're not sure if it solves their problem. Okay, and then the last stage is that they're most aware. And when you're most aware, they understand their problem, they understand your solution, and they agree that your solution can fix their problem, and they're almost ready to go ahead. But they might have a couple of questions or things they need to organize before they do it, but they're just about there. Okay? So when you're approaching your event organizers, if you can think about what stage these people might be at, it'll really help your conversations and your rapport building. So if you go onto the website of the event and you see that there's no accommodation link, and there's no option, there's no mention, there's nothing, these people might actually be completely unaware that not only do you have a solution or there are solutions out there, but they might be unaware that their market is needing to look for a hotel and they're not providing it. Okay, they might just see it as an annoyance and have just dismissed it. I'm sure they've been approached. So that will help you. If they're problem aware or solution aware, it makes it a lot easier. And how do you know if they're problem aware? Well, they might have an accommodation link on their event website, but there's nothing on it. Or maybe they've linked to a couple of hotels directly, or maybe they've just put a link to booking.com. You know, these are all signs that they realized that they needed a solution. They probably didn't know where to find it, and they've just thought about putting something together because they're getting inquiries from their attendees and their exhibitors. And then once you start to educate them as to your product, and this is why we build up email campaigns, and I'll talk to you now very briefly because we've got a lot of time about using a CRM to help this, is that this is also part of your funnel. If you can get these people after having conversations and you've got their email addresses and their event organizers and you put them into your spreadsheet, or hopefully we start to move you, or some of you are already in there, into using a CRM, it means you can automate email campaigns to these people to speak to them at different parts of their journey. So you can send a campaign out to these people that are just event organizers, never heard of you, and they just mention the problem. They say, hey, did you know that a lot of your attendees are looking for hotels and you could be providing them? And then another email you could send out is, hey, by the way, we work with these events and they've found it really useful and they've earned an extra revenue for their business. You know, and then there are other things. It could be like, you know, these are events we've worked on and we've saved them over 40% for their attendees, made them look really good. Not only did it solve the problem for the event organizer, but it made them look really good because they're providing an added value. And these are different email campaigns. So you can effectively nurture these event organizers through the funnel, because as you know, you speak to an event organizer, they're not ready all the time. Their event's coming up soon, or it's past, or maybe they just haven't got to it yet because they're too busy getting exhibitors. They don't realize. You put them into a CRM that costs you, I don't know, $70, $80 a month, right? Manages all your contacts. You can even put all your hotels in there. You can even update and send email shots out to your hotels as well. But you're constantly nurturing these people, and then they start to come to you because they're at the right stage of their buying cycle and you've hit them with an email that's at the right stage. This is very, very effective. It not only is effective, but it saves you time. It automates your marketing, and it means you can keep feeding contacts into your machine, and your machine starts to automate this. And that means even if you're working on an event, you're still prospecting. So your marketing hasn't stopped. So you don't do an event and stop. Oh, I need another event. And then you do an event and then you stop again and you go out and get another event. This is constantly working for you. So hopefully that makes sense, understanding that buying cycle, that people are unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and most aware, okay, through that cycle. This is recorded. I'll put it on YouTube. You should be subscribed already to our YouTube training channel. If not, hit subscribe. As soon as this video goes up, you'll be automatically notified. so then you can watch it and go back over that section again. So that covers that bit. And just to finish off, please, if you've got any questions, by the way, I'll leave a little bit of time at the end. Just pop them into your chat function in front of you if you have any questions on that, and I'll answer them shortly. As agents of Hotels.tv, we are IATA agents. Now, IATA is the International Air Transport Association. It's also the people that recognize who's an agent and who's not. So we have the IATA number, which, you know, it's on the website, it's on the bottom of my emails. If you go and approach a hotel to get a rate, you can quote that and it recognizes us as an agent. It also allows hotels to seamlessly pay us the commission directly to Hotels TV. Our account details are already located in the key of that number, so you can get paid a lot faster. But it does recognize us as a commission earning agent, which opens the doors for you into hotels a lot easier. That's fine. But did you know hotels want people to stay in them that are agents, because they know that you're responsible for X number of potential bookings by being a hotel booking agent. And as we've got agents all over the world, this is really important to this network, because, you know, you seeing a hotel and staying in a hotel, you'll tell people, you'll tell your clients, you'll put it on the booking system, it works. So therefore, to agents only, okay, not to the public, to agents only, these hotels provide what's called a travel trade rate. Okay, now you can get a card and we can process a card for you. I think they're about $50, and you can have your own identification card. It takes a long time to get, unfortunately. I'll see if I can show you one. But the card is just a card, and it just has the number on. You can actually use these discounts and benefits without the card just by having the number, and you already have the number. So you're entitled to these now. If you need a letter from Hotels TV to state that you're an agent, then we provide that. That's fine. You might need that as identification when you check into the hotel to get these deals. But some of these deals are extraordinary. They can be 20, 30, 40, 60, 70% below what the market rate is. Generally, they're not through peak times, they're through off-peak, but they can be weekends, they can be weekdays, and they are literally all over the world. If you have a look right here, this website is called agentexperience.com. This is IATA's website for travel professionals. They currently have 2,812 hotel deals around the world. Okay, and you just select your country and see what deal's being offered. So this is a perk for you as being agents. It's a reason for you to stay connected. You can save an absolute fortune if you stay in hotels and you like to travel. I've used them so many times, I can't even count how many times I've actually used them. You get discounts through Accor hotels, Mercure, Sofitel, Ibis, $20, $30 a night cheaper than you'd see online. It's really worth using and making sure you're recognized as an agent. You know, what you do is important, and the hotels understand it. Sometimes you can actually get deals on other services like car hire, flights, tours, and things like that. But generally, most of the deals are around hotels because they've got the space. Airlines are much more difficult, but you know, you can keep an eye out. You can always ask an airline and give them the number, quote them the number and ask them what it is. But yeah, and that's agentexperience.com. Okay. Our IATA number is at the bottom of my emails, and it's also located on the contact page of the website. So it should all be in your signatures, to be honest, because when you email a hotel, it's an excuse me, it's an obvious one that they would want to know your IATA number to recognize you. And the IATA number is 96816764. That is what you would be quoting, 96816764. I have to give you a code in order to book something, but if you see something you like and you'd like to book it, then come directly, email us on support@hotels.tv, and we'll help you do that. But it's a big benefit. It's a massive perk. It can save you thousands. Very brief experience of mine. I took the kids to Disneyland in Paris, which was about 250 euros a night. And I think I paid 100 or 125 euros a night. So I saved about 125 euros a night on that accommodation. So it's really worthwhile. Even places like that, like Disney, thousands of places all over the world. So, yeah, so that's it. So, excuse my sniffing and my tired eyes. It's getting a bit late over here. It's getting to bedtime. I hope you've got something out of this. And let me recap. Analytics. Okay, really important to see where you're at and do that as early in the process as possible. Better relationships with events and better relationships with hotels mean more bookings. The new changes to APR, which means that we can do advanced purchase rates and actually take the money and pay you sooner on a non-cancelable, non-refundable stay. We get those rates from the hotels. We just ask for a net rate that's non-refundable, non-cancelable, as well as the best available rate, which is the one they normally give us. Buying cycles, remember those buying cycles: unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and most aware. Okay, and we'll do more training on that, and I'll write up a big kind of presentation for you on that. But that really helps if you do any marketing. In the future, we're going to talk to you about Facebook and Google advertising. You don't have to do it because you can just pick up the phone and call the events. But if you do want to do it, you could get the events calling you. If you want to know more about that, book a one-to-one session. But think about that. The event organizers are all out there. They're all on Facebook. They're all on Twitter. They're all on Instagram. They're all on Google. They might be looking for solutions. You could advertise directly to the event organizers, and the ones that want to find out more about your service can come through your funnel, okay, and end up as an appointment in a calendar to talk to you for you to help them with their event. How good would that be as a bit of a complete 180-degree turn on the way you're doing it right now? But you've got to be prepared to invest a little bit per day into advertising. Something we can talk to you about handling the marketing of. You can use a digital marketing agency to do it, but as long as you know the stages of the buying cycle and who you're looking to target, it can be very, very, very effective. And the last stage is the IATA benefits, so make sure you use those. So look, if there's no further questions, there's some questions there regarding the analytics. We can go through that in a one-to-one where we can actually delve in. Look, anything like that on Google that you want to find out more about, go onto YouTube and just type in, how do I get a Google Analytics code? And there's 10 million videos that show you exactly how to do it. You've got the Gmail login, which is your hotel's TV address. You've already got that. And the whole idea with Gmail and Google is that you use their mail so that you get to use all their other services for free, such as analytics. That's why we're with them. We'll probably be moving from Dropbox as well across either to Google Docs, because it just makes sense, everything's in one place. But I'm also looking at the potential of going into a new training platform that houses everything, including the videos, including the documents, including, and I'm looking to see if it's going to manage email marketing and a CRM, just to see if it's something that you could utilize as well at a cheaper rate than if you were going separately. And it just means it could automate your whole process and keep everything, including your videos and your training, all in one place in your documents. So just a few things that we're doing behind the scenes. So hopefully you've enjoyed that and you got something out of that. I'll update you also with the next webinar, which I'm going to start doing again weekly. And I may do twice a week at different times. So if we can't capture you once, we'll capture you at another time. We will record them, but I'd love you to be live on these. And I'm going to have a couple of open mic sessions as well, so that you guys can discuss your experiences, because I think if you can share your experience as well, that really helps the other agents and gives them hope, especially ones that are just starting and it's all very new. If they hear your successes, not just from me, but if they hear them from you, or your struggles or your problems, then, you know, it can very much help everyone in the group communicate. So I'd love to have a couple of open mic sessions as well. Great. Thank you very much for joining us, and look forward to speaking to you soon. Remember, book those one-to-ones, keep them going. I rely on you getting them into the calendar. I don't want to chase you to do the one-to-ones. I want you to book it. Shows you're proactive, shows you wanting to learn, and it shows you're scheduling it. You know, you're putting it into your schedule. It's becoming part of your week. It's dedicated. And that's what you need to be successful, is just having that focus. Doesn't have to be full time, having a focus at a certain time and being active in the time that you've allocated on a consistent basis. Okay, that's it. Thanks for your time. We're just about to hit an hour. So I look forward to speaking to you in the one-to-ones or next week on the webinar. Bye for now.